Let me tell y'all a little something about the time I found out my HOA president was stealing my electricity, like literally siphoning power from my meter, and then had the audacity to call 911 on me when I caught her. You can't make this stuff up. This story's got everything: shady neighbors, a corrupt HOA, full-on theft, and a twist that even I didn't see coming until it smacked me square in the face at 7 a.m. on a Tuesday. So grab your coffee or maybe something stronger and settle in. This is how it all went down. The morning it started, I'd just come off a 12-hour night shift at the hospital. I'm a respiratory therapist, which means when you're struggling to breathe, I'm the guy making sure you don't stop. So, yeah, stressful job, weird hours, and I'm usually too tired to notice much around the house. But that day, I got my utility bill and that sucker nearly gave me a heart attack. $847 for 1 month. I live alone in a 3-bedroom house, barely use anything beyond lights, fridge, and AC. I was stunned. Now, the month before had been $312, which was already suspicious. But $847? That was robbery. And not metaphorical robbery, like someone was literally robbing me. So I grabbed my coffee, slipped on my Crocs, and started walking around the house. That's when I noticed something that made the hair on the back of my neck stand up. Thick wires running from my meter, down the side of my house, and under the damn fence. That fence, by the way, separates me from my neighbor. Let's call her Beverly Sinclair. Beverly is the president of our homeowners association. She's got the kind of smile that makes you feel like you just got scolded by a Sunday school teacher. Been president for 8 years, and ever since I moved in 3 years ago, she's been on my neck about every little thing. My trash can placement, my lawn height, even the type of bulbs in my porch lights. And I always complied, thinking if I just played it straight, she'd leave me alone. But Beverly had other plans. The wires led straight into her basement window. I kid you not. I took out my phone, started snapping pictures. Every angle, every connection. I was furious, but I wasn't about to do anything stupid. I called the electric company's fraud hotline and reported what I found. They sent out an investigator, a no-nonsense woman named Carla Ramirez, and her supervisor, Mr. Darnell. They showed up within 2 hours, looked at the setup, and confirmed it was theft. Not just amateur-level stuff, either. This was clean, professional, and had been running for months. While we waited for confirmation from the electric company, I sat down and really thought about the pattern here. For over a year, I'd been fighting these bills, assuming it was AC overuse, old wiring, or maybe some appliance draining too much juice. Beverly had been steadily increasing the harassment through HOA violations to 26 notices in 3 years, everything from grass length discrepancy to offensive doormat design. Looking back, the timing of her complaints matched spikes in my bills. Carla and Mr. Darnell weren't just investigators, they were sharp. They saw the whole picture. Carla said, "This is organized. Whoever did this knew you wouldn't be home most days, worked night shifts, and had good credit. That's the kind of target someone scopes out in advance." And that right there, that stuck with me. Somebody had studied my habits, my lifestyle, like I was prey. When Beverly finally strutted up the sidewalk, silk robe flapping, she was all indignation and fake confusion. "Why are utility workers on your property? This isn't in line with our community bylaws," she snapped. Carla calmly replied, "We're investigating suspected electrical theft, ma'am. And based on evidence, we believe your property is receiving illegally diverted power." That's when Beverly pulled the classic play, turned the spotlight. This man has been nothing but trouble since he moved in. Loud music, inappropriate guests, poor lawn care. I've done my best to maintain neighborhood standards, and he's attacking me? Mr. Darnell held up a photograph from his tablet meter, the wires, the connection into Beverly's foundation. "This isn't an accusation, ma'am. It's documentation." She snapped. "He's framing me. I don't know anything about electricity. I'm calling the police." And she did. Right there in front of everyone. Told 911 that a black man and some strangers were threatening her, pretending to be utility workers. That's when my chest tightened, because I knew exactly how badly that could go. But Carla was ready. She shouted into the phone, "This is Carla Ramirez, Metro Electric, employee ID 7621. We are conducting a lawful investigation. This call is an obstruction attempt." 15 minutes later, squad car pulls up. Officers Reed and Jennings. Officer Reed, the black female officer, took one look at the scene, at me in scrubs, Carla with her badge, Beverly flailing like a soap opera star, and you could tell she was already suspicious of Beverly's story. What followed was an hour of Beverly spiraling. First she denied everything. Then she blamed her son-in-law, said he was an electrician, and told her it was just a short-term solution. Then she confessed. "Sort of. I didn't think it was a big deal," she whined. "I'm on a fixed income." Officer Jennings, flipping through Carla's evidence, deadpanned, "Ma'am, you've stolen over $40,000 worth of utilities. That's a felony." They cuffed her right there on the sidewalk. And then the real shocker came. Carla and Darnell traced the lines further. Turns out Beverly's house wasn't the only one. 2 more homes were tapped into the same setup. Both were owned by her HOA friends. Her son-in-law, Kevin, licensed electrician, mid-30s, smug, had built the whole network. The wires ran under flower beds, through privacy fences, into basements. Clean, subtle. The kind of theft nobody would notice unless they looked hard, or got fed up and followed their meter lines like I did. The case exploded. Detectives got involved. ADA Martinez took lead. Kevin was arrested, too, and under questioning, Beverly started talking. A lot. Claimed Kevin promised it was load balancing, that I wouldn't notice. Claimed it was for the good of the neighborhood, that it helped struggling families. Said my good job and nice salary meant I wouldn't miss the money. That part burned. I worked every damn hour for what I had, and she decided I could afford to subsidize her bills. By the time trial came around, it had all snowballed into something bigger: conspiracy, fraud, civil rights violations. ADA Martinez uncovered HOA records showing Beverly had issued 70% of violations to minority homeowners when they were less than 20% of the population. I wasn't the only one. There were others, and their stories came flooding out once mine hit the news. Trial was brutal, but it was worth it. Kevin got 12 years. Beverly got 5. Morrison Electric, Kevin's employer, lost its license. HOA was dissolved. New board elected. ADA Martinez pushed through civil rights charges. We got restitution, and Beverly's HOA violations against me were wiped from my record. The night after sentencing, I sat on my porch. Quiet. Peaceful. For the first time in years, I didn't feel like I was waiting for another complaint letter, another surprise bill. I just sat there, watching the streetlights flicker on, knowing they were powered by my meter and only mine. And that, my friends, was justice. So tell me, have you ever had a neighbor who took things too far? A Karen with a clipboard and a God complex? Leave your stories in the comments. Let's make sure folks like Beverly know we're watching too.